Hey Libra, my name is Dre, and this is your July 2017 reading. If you want a reading from me personally, just email me. So yeah, I moved, new setup, and I already laid out the cards, so let's get started. We have the Princess of Wands in reverse, the Queen of Wands in reverse, the Devil, Seven of Cups, and Three of Swords in reverse, Eight of Wands in reverse, Ten of Wands, a lot of wands, the Tower reversed, the Ace of Swords, and the Lovers in reverse. Outcome, we have the High Priestess. An additional clarifying card, we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. All right, so yeah, I was kind of expecting your reading to be a little, heavy. Again, like I've mentioned in all the other cardinal signs, you guys, Cancer, Aries, and Capricorn are sort of really going through it right now because that's just the planetary shift right now, and so it's just incredibly tense for you guys. Where it feels like you guys are sort of backed into a corner and where you guys feel like you can't make any sort of escape, or you feel like you are trapped in a web where it feels like no matter what you do or how hard you try, you can't just seem to come out of it. And that's what I see with this Devil and with this Tower reversed, where it's like for some of you, you probably feel like you're in a situation that is sort of forcing you to come face to face with all of your fears. Come face to face with all of your insecurities, with everything that you feel like you have no tight control over, with everything that you feel like you might feel worn down, you might feel exhausted, you just might feel just like ugh about everything right now. But that's only to call attention to things that in your life that you just really need to free yourself from. Things that you have to allow yourself. You can allow yourself to just say no, or you can allow yourself to not always have to be the person people want you to be, or to do the things that you feel like that you sort of have to, even if it's things that aren't necessarily you're not 100% down with, or things that you might have second thoughts about that you're really unsure about. Because some of you might just be reacting out of heartbreak, out of confusion because of what's going on right now. Specifically, there's one other person who is ruining your life. And, take that to whatever extreme it's on. It could be just somebody that's like, it could be like an annoying neighbor, or it can literally be somebody that's just like kind of ruining your life. But you have to figure out how you're complicit in that. You have to understand that there are choices afforded to you, but it's like, do you want to make the right choice? When it comes to people that we have an insatiable bond with, be it through codependency, drugs or otherwise, sexual, familial, where it's just like there's obligations, because the Devil is ruled by Capricorn. So some of you might feel like, especially if like it's a tense home situation, you might feel like you have to take the burden of making sure everything's fine, and you've put this on yourself. The Devil is really, it's a card of mastery, and it's a card of self-awareness and self-reflection. We have these obsessive desires, and there's not anything wrong with that. There's nothing that we can control, because we're animals at the end of the day. We're still animals. Even if we're humans, we still have animal instincts, and we still have animal impulses. But with the Devil anywhere, it's all about recognizing that there is a path to being able to control these urges in a way to where they don't become unhealthy and destructive. Instead, it's a healthy sort of method of living. It's a healthy way of existing. And I'm seeing it specifically with regards to your sexuality a lot, with the people you're dating, with the people you're talking to. I feel like for some of you, you've had a really bad go at it with lovers or with anybody that you've dated with, because things might have happened too fast. But then all of a sudden things sort of hit the brakes, and now you're left at a place where you're just like, well, I don't know where to go. I'm not sure what to do with this. But understand that this process, that method of you feeling guilty, sort of self-conscious, having issues of worth, that's really the trial here, the test for you guys. To understand that, to question yourself, why do you feel this way? How are you putting yourself in positions where you're allowing yourself to be taken advantage of? Either, with all these wands, I'm seeing it either sexually or in friendships or with like communications with people where you probably don't have your guard up at all. There are no boundaries here. And again, the devil blurs boundaries. The devil sort of tricks us into thinking when things might be good for us, or, hey, it's just for a little bit of fun. But, when we wake up, we realize our life is sort of ruined, or things haven't been better because we try to go to this thing to make us feel better, but it doesn't make us feel better at the end of the day. And so with this high priestess here as like the sort of, what's the word? The outcome. It's time for you to sort of step into this part of yourself that is a little bit more self-aware, that's a little bit more detached when it comes to facts, when it comes to your actual reality. Again, like the fact that we are, animals as well as humans, it's easy for us to sort of justify our heart's way of doing things, or like our instincts, whether they be good or bad, if it's drinking or if it's sex or if it's, shopping, you spend all our money, our entire paycheck on clothes. There's a part of us that, there's the whole thing, we get sensation, we get pleasure from doing things like that, of course, obviously. But it's like you need to understand at what point does pleasure come at a cost? And at what point is it sort of overburdening you in the way that, you're not directly addressing the problem. You're not directly looking at it in the way it needs to be looked at. And so instead you find yourself overwhelmed. You find yourself tired. You find yourself really confused. But there's a part of you here, especially with this Three of Swords reverse, and I'm looking at this Five of Pentacles reverse. You need to understand that when you've had your limit, you need to understand when it's time to sort of pick yourself back up and start again. And when it's time to actually get to the heart of the matter, get to the heart of, well, why you keep going back to your ex, or why you keep thinking about that ex, or why you keep letting, him back in your life, him or her, or why you make self-destructive decisions. Not self-destructive, but a lot of self-sabotage here. And again, hanging around people that you don't really like, speaking with people that aren't necessarily, in your best interest. I see this as an energy of more following the crowd than actually standing up and saying what you believe. You have a lot of choices here. And the choice is really, are you more willing to look out for yourself in the end? Because with this Lovers in reverse, that's telling me that there's a huge disconnect between your version of reality when it comes to love, and when it comes to commitment, and when it comes to actually realizing and attracting all the beauty in your life. Because Libra, that's that energy you like. You love things to be, or at least that's the Libra energy, depending on how strong your Libra is. But yeah, that's, everything should be in harmony, everything should be in balance, everything should be beautiful, or as close to it as possible. And so I feel like that's a lesson, or that's a question that you still need to revisit, and a question you still need to ask yourself, because I feel like it's evading you, the truth, because there's something else here, something or someone else who is sort of perverting that for you, and they're making it a lot more difficult. So allow yourself the opportunity to gain wisdom and to gain experience from this, to understand where you've been. The High Priestess, she knows she's the keeper of all knowledge, but she doesn't feel any way about it, because knowledge is just cold, hard facts. We can't put our emotions into it. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is a very emotional time right now. It's a very stressful time. And so you're trying to, again, make the world sort of more balanced for you. But that's really going to be afforded to you when you allow yourself the ability to look at yourself critically, look at your environment critically, and look at where the history and understanding of where you've been, and understanding that, our present actions determine our future actions in all essence. And that's going to take, there are hardly any swords here, but with these swords here, so it's telling me that you need to be able to at least address any of your former heartbreak, any sort of disappointment that you've had, any sort of grudge or pettiness, or, that you haven't been able to let go of. You need to allow yourself to let it go. Because there are other things around you in the world that you can really take advantage of. Jupiter is still in Libra. It was retrograde for a long ass time, but now it's out of retrograde. And so allow yourself the opportunity to know that there are other lovers, other events, other parties, other people, other places for you to go. That you don't have to stay stuck here in this lower form of yourself where somebody, I really feel like it's one other person. If it's not like a lover, it's a friend, definitely. That's just, that loves making your life more difficult than it needs to be. And you shouldn't have to put up with that. You have to understand what's good for you and what's best for you and what's right for you. Okay, Libra, so thank you so much. I will see you guys soon. Love talking to you guys.